we got mercenaries, we got new game modes, we have expansion stuff. Let's dive in. First, let's go over the new regions we're going to. We're going south to the jungles of Nahantu, but we're also going to be going to the Taganze region, which is a giant red rock canyon-like region. Also, the Field of Giants, which is essentially Jurassic Park, but for demons. We're going to be having like very big, like 1,000-year-old demon skulls and such strewn about. Very cool stuff. Another region that they showed off was the Skittering Earth, which is basically a bunch of bugs and spiders and stuff.
Skittering Earth.
The name alone makes your skin crawl.
It's bug infested, and you can see how the bugs have destroyed the jungles and kind of input their influence on it.
Bugs. Anyway, that's some of the locales that we're going to be going to. Let's jump in to see what some of the new enemies we're going to be bumping into are going to be. First up, we have the Hollows, which is kind of a gnarly looking subset of enemies here. Intestines hanging out, all that good gory stuff. They also introduced the Dregs, which are a group of people who apparently took some crazy hallucinogens and just started acting really aggressive and really crazy. Pretty gnarly looking artistic style as well. And they're also very reminiscent of some of the enemies we bumped into in Kurast in Diablo 2. The Lacunae are coming back in a different way as well. There's going to be like different variants of these creatures. There's going to be warrior variants, caster variants in the Red Canyon regions. Very cool stuff. And that about does it for the enemy types that we're going to be bumping into. I'm sure there's going to be more, but this is just what they've showcased. Something really cool, though, that I'm really excited to talk about are the mercenaries coming to Diablo 4.
The mercenaries in Vessel of Hatred are a group of people who we like to describe as ordinary people with extraordinary skills.
So we're finally getting mercs back, and one of the first ones that they showcased was Rahir. Rahir is like a shield bearer, defensive kind of character. Throws his shield like Captain America, gets it back, makes a big bubble around you to defend you. Kind of that aesthetic going for Rahir. Just a really cool defensive character to have, and apparently you meet him really early in the campaign, so probably one of the first mercenaries that you unlock. Next up is Subo, the Drunken Archer. Apparently he just hangs out behind you, getting drunk, shooting arrows. Exactly what you want behind you, right? It seems like a really cool character, though, honestly. Subo might be really neat to have as, like, just support DPS. Seems like he may also possibly lay, like, support things out, like maybe traps or caltrops, etc., things like that. We'll have to wait and see on that. Next up is Variana. She is the Berserker Crone. Used to be Cannibal, but not anymore kind of character. But she's by far the coolest, in my opinion. She has this mechanic where I guess if you're killing a lot of enemies really quickly, it builds up this like massacre bonus. I guess she gets bonus damage off of that. But the other thing that seemed really neat was her ability to grab everything, kind of, I mean, like the Kratos grab or whatever from barbs that we have currently, Steel Grasp. Being able to Steel Grasp things, pull them together, that adds so much utility currently to the game. Maybe you have corpse tendrils or something that you want off of your bar in case, you know, you can use this instead. Frees up more DPS potential. Lots of cool things you can do with this. I think it's really neat. And lastly, we have Aldkin, who's like a demon child. Magic user, can transform into a demon, chain things up. Just seems like a backcaster support style mercenary. Now, one of the really cool things that they added was this reinforcement ability. So apparently you can tie one of your abilities or a mercenary ability to one of your abilities, and when you use it out in the field, they jump in and use a specified attack skill, weapon, or something. I mean, they come in and do whatever you tell them kind of to do. This is a really neat ability, honestly. Also, during a dev chat at Gamescom, they did mention that only the party leader in a group can have their party or can have their mercenary out. So if you're in a group of 4, only the party leader can have their mercenary out. Kind of disappointing in my opinion. I wish that, you know, it was more akin to Diablo 2, where, you know, everyone could have their merc out and have like 50 auras running, etc. I think that's a lot of fun, but you know, they went more of like a D2/D3 route where You know, they're kind of trying to mix it up a little bit, which is neat in its own self, but I would also like, you know, everyone to bring their friend to the party kind of thing. We are also getting skill trees, which to me is going to be really cool, really neat at first until everyone figures out exactly what the more powerful build is going to be for the skill tree and they run with that. That's essentially how it's going to go. The skill tree looks very basic. Looks like there's 2 branches, maybe 3 to go down at the moment. I'm guessing they're going to build on this later. Maybe, but for now, it looks like a very basic skill tree for your mercs. Still pretty cool, pretty neat, but, you know, could be way bigger. This is the real skill twig, if you wanted to know. The Dark Citadel is a new thing that's coming in Vessel of Hatred. It's basically raids or, you know, co-op dungeons, whatever you want to call it. They're trying their best not to call it a raid. I know other content creators have kind of picked on this as well. But essentially, you're going to be running around with 2 to 4 of your friends, and you're going to be completing these like puzzles and things of that nature. They're not going to be the same as dungeons per se, because there's going to be more like puzzles, more reactionary based content. I know some of the bosses that they were showcasing, or one of the bosses that they showcased, had almost a if you've ever played A Link to the Past and the Aghanim fight where he shoots a ball at you and you have to like hit it and reflect it back at him, one of the bosses actually had a mechanic very similar to that. Whereas, you know, you're running around the boss, it shoots out this little like glowy ball, and one of your party members or you have to run to the opposite side of it and knock it back into the boss for damage. I guess if it hits a wall, it does AoE damage or something of that nature. I'm not really sure, but it seemed like a really cool kind of niche change to typical boss fights where you just go in, blow up the health bar, go out. Seems really neat. Dark Citadel might be really cool. Another thing that was showcased was the armor sets that you can get from the Citadel. Pretty much when you beat a boss, you can kind of like take their armor aesthetic from them and put it on. Also, you can earn currencies and things of that nature, so you can kind of pick and purchase, I guess, different things afterwards. So seems really cool. One thing that they did note was really exciting. Scrolls of Retempering, I guess, are what we're going to be getting from the Dark Citadel run. So if you've ever bricked an item in Diablo 4, many of you have, those greater affix items that are triple affix that you just brick and yay, feels good. Well, now you can get another shot at retempering this. I don't know how many times you can do this. I think only once. I don't know if it's been specified or not, but if you can do a scroll of retempering, you can basically reset everything, try again. If you can do this multiple times, you can never brick an item, but I'm pretty sure you can only do it one time. We don't know yet. Now, lastly, one of the big things that they finally added that a lot of people were clamoring for is a party finder system. I know you bump into people in Helltides and stuff like that, but when you were going to do a dungeon, if you didn't have any clanmates online, haha, clans, or any friends online to do anything with, you know, it was kind of hard to get a group for anything. I mean, you could say it in trade chat, things like that, but for the most part, it was kind of annoying to do. It's like, you know, 1990s style. Now they're changing that. They're adding a party finder, so all you have to do is queue up, get in a dungeon, enjoy yourself, die in hardcore, maybe. I don't know. Whatever you want to do, you can do it now. So that's a big bonus. Thank you, Blizzard, for finally adding a party finder to the game. It was needed. They're also adding something called the Karast Undercity that's coming. It seems like a timed dungeon with roguelike aspects. Think Infernal Horde buff debuffs, but for kind of a dungeon, like an endless dungeon kind of thing. Or maybe a multi-layered dungeon, I'm guessing. It seems to be the case, but we'll have to kind of wait and see on the details in the future for this mode. Seems really cool, though. I mean, think Diablo 2, Catacombs level 1, 2, 3, 4, but maybe like, you know, double or triple that. Just keep going down. You're in a time dungeon. See as far as how far you can go. How far can you make it without dying or running out of time. Seems really cool. And one last thing, they did make a big announcement for character progression as well. Quote, what Season 4 did for loot, Season 6 is going to do for progression. That's a huge line right there. Season 4 practically revived Diablo 4 for the masses. The loot changes were massive and all around pretty well received. That being said, Season 6 should be very, very exciting We have Paragon changes coming. They spoke about choices, but you know how choices go on Paragon boards, right? Anyway, choices for about a week, then meta. August 29th, we're going to be having a campfire chat to talk about these things. For now, we're kind of in the dark on this, but really exciting news to talk about. Like if progression changes are coming and it's going to be as big as Season 4, that is a big statement because Season 4 was a massive success. Really excited to see what they come out with that. A lot of cool news and new systems coming into Diablo 4. What are you most excited for? Let me know in the comments below. Are you going to no-life the game when Vessel of Hatred comes out like we are? What are you most excited about? Mercenaries, Dark Citadel, the Kuros dungeons, the class itself, Spiritborn. What are you most excited about? Let me know in the comments below. Appreciate you watching the video. We're at the end now, so if you haven't subscribed already, please do so for more Diablo 4 news and content in the future. We're getting on out of here. Catch you later.